Hey, hello Facebook. I was just saying that today we're going to be joined by Lainey on Facebook, who's going to be popping all the links to everything that we talk about today. So hello to everybody on YouTube who's watching on Catch Up. Don't forget, if you do watch on YouTube, we do put details in the little link, in the little caption on YouTube. But of course, at the end of the day, if all else fails, head over to LizArWellbeing.com because that's where all the information is. We do have a great Liz Loves launching today on a brand new product from a company called LeapFrog. LeapFrog Immune, you may well know, in this little orange box. We'll talk about that. This is their brand new one. It's called LeapFrog Snooze. Yeah. How did you sleep last night? Let us know in the comments on Facebook. Type your experience. We'd love to hear. We'd love to get the conversation going. Who had a good night's sleep? Hi, all the waves. Nice to see you. Hi, Lainey. Nice to see you on there as well. I'm going to get the LeapFrog. I'm going to get Stephanie on in just a second. So where are we? Let me do this over here. And we will be connecting. Lots of nice comments coming in already. Sleep is all over the place. Yes, I know. It is one of those things, isn't it? For me, actually, that was my only symptom, really, or my first big symptom of menopause was lack of sleep. I'm sure we'll be talking about that as well. I know that applies to very many of us, and that happens when our estrogen levels drop. And it can cause heart palpitations. So if you get that racing heartbeat and a slight raise in temperature, that's your estrogen dropping. And of course, that disrupts sleep. Hello, Stephanie.
Hi, Liz. How are you?
I am very well. I had a good night's sleep. So,
Good.
How about you?
I had a very good night's sleep. Thank you.
I imagine that your good night's sleep was thanks to this little baby.
Yes, this is our new baby. We're very excited. I'm so excited to finally come on and talk to you about it, Liz.
So tell me about it, because it's got great things. It's got lactoferrin in it, which hopefully we know and love, and we will talk about that at the end as well. And B6, which we know is sometimes known as the chill pill, isn't it? Vitamin B6, because it's so calming. But this, Lactium, what is Lactium? I've never heard of it.
I know, it's really exciting to introduce yet another protein peptide that nobody's ever heard of that comes from milk and has these extraordinary benefits. It really is exciting to introduce Lactium properly to the UK. So, I mean, yes, as you mentioned, Leapfrog Immune is something we launched with a couple of years ago, and it contains lactoferrin, and that is a protein that comes, what our body makes every day, but comes from cow's milk. So over the last 2 years, I've been, closely, we've been looking at, all the other benefits, the proteins, the peptides that are locked into milk and what they can do. I mean, really, it's Mother Nature who is the most extraordinary formulator.
That's why newborns have breast milk.
Exactly.
All of these goodness, and presumably Lactium and lactoferrin are found in breast milk, are they?
So I will get into the detail of it. They both come from milk. So yes, it's a little bit more complex with this one. But again, as I said, Mother Nature has formulated this extraordinary cocktail called milk that has this effect on a newborn to keep it well because of the lactoferrin that's in there. That is the antimicrobial component there that keeps the baby well. But also, when a baby drinks milk, it has a very immature digestive system, and the trypsin interacts with the casein in the milk and breaks it down into a calming pool of peptides. And one of these peptides is called alpha-casozepine. And this peptide has this magic ability to make a baby calm, content, and fall off to sleep. So again, it's Mother Nature just being brilliant. After a baby is fed, it has a nice sleep, and we all know how important sleep is for everything. So it's sort of baked into this incredible. So this whole thing is quite genius at work. But obviously, as we mature, our digestive system matures. We can't access this peptide anymore because it's the trypsin in the baby's digestive system that unlocks this peptide. And as we mature, we're working mostly with pepsin and so, and also, quite frankly, we no longer need that soothed to sleep state from the milk, according to Mother Nature.
Yeah.
So it was about 15 years ago, a little bit more now actually, 16 years ago, that the scientists in France looked at this and tried to work out what it was that was making a baby calm and soothed. Nancy University found out that it was this particular peptide called alpha-casozepine. And then the company that I work with was Lactoferrin, who are, of course, experts in all the proteins, peptides within milk, worked on a way to break it down. So a tryptic hydrolysis, it's called, is the scientific term.
Oh my goodness, my brain already. I hope everyone's got their notepads here and is jotting it down.
I know you like the science, though.
I do like the science. And before, we should just say, this is all on your website as well, so we can go back, can't we, and have a look. Yes. And we do have a Liz Loves. We do have the discount code on there as well.
We do.
Which is 10% off everything at Leapfrog Remedies. So I'll just put that out there because we're going to get down into the science.
I would love for people to try it.
Yeah.
So essentially, this peptide is locked into every single chewable tablet of Leapfrog Snooze. This clever peptide that makes you calm and soothed and will allow you to sleep like a baby is locked inside this tablet.
I know people who need this, so much so. I can't even begin to tell you. I think there's just so much kind of environmental stress on every level that's surrounding us. And of course, if your sleep function goes, it makes everything seem so much worse.
Absolutely.
So if we can get our sleep back, at least we can do something positive, take a step in the right direction that's helpful. Exactly.
I think, that a good night's sleep and you're set up for the next day. You're not, you're not hungry, you're not stressed, you're not frazzled, it is the bedrock of good health, mental and physical health. And that's something that certainly I've learned in the last couple of years with Immune. We're looking at people's immune systems. But if you're not sleeping well, your immune system is going to find it very, very hard to help you.
Absolutely. Is there any lactose in this?
So again, like the lactoferrin, it's virtually lactose-free.
Brilliant.
So it's not an issue. There's 0.9 milligrams of lactose in every tablet, so it is virtually lactose-free.
Yeah, fantastic. So it is literally, I'm just looking at the ingredients here, you've got B6, which is the calming vitamin from the B complex family, Lactium, and lactoferrin. So do we also get a bit of immune support through the lactoferrin?
Exactly. So there's 50 milligrams of lactoferrin in Leapfrog Snooze. And if you remember in our other formulation to combat coughs and colds and things, Leapfrog Immune, that one, it's 250 milligrams.
250. So this is super strength for the immune system.
It's going to knock it on the head, taking it the first sign of a sniffle.
Yeah.
But this has a very useful amount of lactoferrin in it too. And of course, we wanted to have lactoferrin in there because, as I just said, if you're not sleeping, probably your immune system is shot. So it's good to have a little bit of lactoferrin in there.
Can you take both together? Because presumably snooze is something that you take every night, whereas immune you might or you might not, depending on your state of play.
They can be taken together. They work very well together because then you're up to 300 milligrams of lactoferrin, and that's totally fine. Or even 600, that's totally fine if you're double dosing. If you've got a cold and you're double dosing on the immune and you need to sleep, you can do them all. That's not a problem. If you want to just do one, if say, your major concern is not your immune health, you're fine, you don't seem to get coughs and colds, but sleep, you will get some immune protection from that 50 milligrams. That is a very useful amount to combat coughs and colds. So you still get that protection with the snooze.
This is so interesting. So for those late arrivals, I can see there's a few late to class here. We're talking about Lactium. And this is something, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know about. It's very, very new. I've not heard about it. I've not seen it talked about. So I kind of feel that we've almost got a kind of global scoop going on here. Talk us through very simply for those who need to get it drilled into their brains, who perhaps heard it first time and it was, ooh, what did she just say? And for those late arrivals, what is Lactium? What's it doing? How is it helping us sleep?
In essence, when a baby feeds on milk, it becomes calm, content, and drifts off to sleep.
We've all seen that, you know, whether it's our own babies or somebody else's, that lovely sleepy baby just sort of all full and just drifting off. What a wonderful state to be in.
And then we have that saying, sleep like a baby. I mean, nobody sleeps like a baby. And so it is a peptide at work that's having that soporific effect. And we have got that peptide locked into every tablet of LeapFrog Snooze.
Is it for any age?
So we say it's for 7 and up, because that's the correct amount of Lactium for a 7-year-old, 150 milligrams in one tablet. Yeah. And I think below 7, I think we need to see what else is going on.
Yeah,
really.
Hopefully small children should be sleeping well. Hopefully they're not on any kind of electronic devices and they've been running around all day and full of beans, and you know they have a good bedtime routine and all the rest of it. Yeah, so I think you're absolutely right. But I think that is so interesting. I have a couple of people reasonably close to me, mentioning no names, who are really struggling, I have to tell you, with stress, anxiety, overload. And the real thing that's getting them down is lack of sleep.
Yeah.
And it's so debilitating. And you get in that cycle and they wake up in the night and then they can't get back to sleep. And it's just... And then your head starts to go. At what point do you take it? Do you take it just before bed? Does it matter time of day?
There are several different ways to take it. And just thinking of the example you gave there, I had a customer say to me the other day...
Oh, we've lost you. We've lost your sound. Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, so your customer said what?
I had a customer said, you know, I'm in the menopause right now and I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I listen to my husband snoring and it's been driving me completely mad. I've taken LeapFrog Snooze and I'm able to sleep through the night now. And so it's made a real difference to her. So there are several ways to take it. If that sounds like you, then what you would want to take is either 1 or 2 tablets an hour before bed. Okay. And that will calm down. It puts the brakes. There are all sorts of scientific ways to explain it, but it is calming the brain in the way that Valium and diazepam do in the brain, but without the side effects, without the habituation. So it is having that same effect on the neurons in your brain, but without any side effects. Naturally. So if you take it 2 hours before bed, it will calm you and relax you so that you can drift off to sleep. And what is so exciting and brilliant about this peptide is that unlike melatonin or Valium or diazepam, which the Lactium has been tested against clinically.
Really?
It has no side effects the next day. So you wake up and you don't feel groggy. You feel refreshed. And that's exactly what this woman said. She said, and I woke up and I felt refreshed.
That's so exciting. And you talked there about taking 2 tablets. So if sleep is a real issue, you know, we're not just talking about, I wish it would be a bit better, but it is really, really debilitating. You could start straight off with a double dose, could you?
Exactly. That's what I would recommend for those with insomnia.
I know a few people who are going to be getting this very, very soon. It does sound amazing. A couple of questions coming in I can see on Instagram already. Presumably it's non-addictive. It's just like a vitamin.
It's non-addictive. So again, wrapped up in that comment that I just made about it having no side effects like diazepam and Valium do. Mm-hmm. It's non-addictive. It doesn't make you feel drowsy. It doesn't make you, sometimes you feel bold on those sorts of drugs if you take them during the day. This doesn't, disinhibition it's called, it doesn't have any of those effects whatsoever. It's natural. It's a simple protein and it gets taken out of your body. It doesn't build up. So it is a very exciting little peptide.
Wow, and Maria's saying she's on her 2nd packet already. Presumably she loves it. That's always the key, isn't it? You know, I always say anyway, I'm talking about business or brand founders, you know, it's relatively easy to sell something once. It's the 2nd time that's the key. It's repeat purchase, because then you know something's really working. And, you know, all of the things on Liz Loves have been things that I've personally benefited from, personally have them on repeat, and things that I find so valuable through the night. What about any contraindications? What about people already taking supplements? Is there any issue if you're already taking your B vitamins or your magnesium?
Yeah, that's a really good question. There is no contraindication, not that we know of, apart from caffeine, because caffeine is doing the opposite.
Caffeine keeps you awake. Hopefully you're not going to be having a cup of coffee just before bed, or even, a hot cocoa actually has got loads of caffeine in it.
But it's worth mentioning, it's not just for sleep. So this is anti-anxiety and anti-stress, which are a huge part of the puzzle too. So you can take a Lactium during the day. So the question is if you like your coffee and you like the effects of the anti-anxiety effects during the day, say if you have a stressful event coming up, for example, then just space it out. Have your coffee in the morning and then have lactoferrin just before lunch, but on an empty stomach so that we're not trying to sort of digest things at the same time.
That's so interesting because I love coffee. I love the taste of it. I like the buzz it gives me too, but I think more often than not, I miss it. I was at a fasting clinic recently and I didn't have any coffee at all for several days. And I just really missed the taste. I could do without the buzz actually, but it was that taste. So for me, I could imagine that I would be having a nice cup of coffee or two, maybe in the morning, getting into that stressful situation, giving a presentation or doing some filming or something where I'm a bit wired, wanting to calm down so I could have my snooze, but it wouldn't send me to sleep, right?
It wouldn't send you to sleep. And it's funny, when I thought about what to call it, I just really like the name snooze, but don't want people to think that it's going to knock you out. That's not what it is. It's not a sedative. Again, it relaxes and calms you so that you can fall asleep. And the clinical trials are there to show that it does help people fall asleep. But I love the word snooze. So that's where we start.
It's a great, it says it all, who doesn't love a good snooze, frankly? Right. There's what's not to love. Which university was it in France that did the clinical studies?
Nancy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they've been looking at it for a while, have they?
Yes, they have. Well, they worked with this company that creates the lactoferrin and is so knowledgeable on all the constituents of milk. They worked together to really work out what was going on, what was making a baby so calm. So they worked together on this 15 years ago. It's all quite new, Liz. That's what's so exciting about it. We're only just beginning to really understand what all the constituents of milk can do. Yeah. And again, it's natural. It's Mother Nature.
Yeah. I'm so with you. Presumably it would help if you wake in the night. Could you take another one? Would that help?
So if you haven't taken one already, then you could absolutely chew one of the tablets in the middle of the night, and that may help you get to sleep within that hour window. If you have, the studies have shown that if you take the tablets, though, an hour or so before bed, then you're less likely to wake up in the night. So my social media manager, for example, she's just beginning to go through the menopause now, perimenopause. She's 39, feeling very anxious, and has found it very difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. And she has been waxing lyrical in the last few weeks, just saying she can finally, she takes it a little bit before an hour before bed. So she's been taking it about 2 hours before bed, and she says she feels so relaxed in the evening, finally, that her stress levels aren't up to here, so she can really fall asleep. And again, she said, when I wake up, I don't feel groggy like I do with melatonin or other things I've had to resort to recently. Yeah. And that's just fantastic news.
It's so exciting to talk about it. I cannot wait to hear some of the feedback from our community here, who I know are literally going to jump on and try this, because this is such a big issue. I podcasted, or actually I put a post up this morning about sleep because I knew it was going to be so important. And then I saw that my team at Earle Wellbeing had also posted about it. And it's such a vital component of our well-being, and it makes such a massive difference if we can get it right, and the things that we can do to help. So you've generously given us 10% off.
Yes.
And does that apply to LeapFrog Immune as well?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. Yeah. Do I have a confession to make? I don't know whether I should tell you this. Kit, my middle boy, has started back at uni, and we packed him up, the car piled high with everything. And I gave him, loads of supplements and vitamins, and I was saying, take this, eat your greens. I was giving him green powders and whatever. And I forgot the LeapFrog Immune. a week later, he's on the phone to me saying, "Mum, I've got Fresher's flu. I feel really terrible." And I say, "Yeah, but you've got your..." "Oh, no, you haven't." And I felt so bad. I felt like such a neglectful mother. And I know that if I'd sent him back to uni with this, he would not have succumbed. Anyway, he's got some in the post. But, you know, I felt a couple of days ago, I had a slight kind of sniffly nose. And obviously my youngest is bringing lovely germs and bugs back from school all the time. Thank you very much. To share with the family. And I thought, oh, I've got so much on, I cannot afford even just to have a cold, you know, let alone anything else. Took 2 of these, gone. I mean, literally nothing. You know, it is magic. It's magic in a little orange box. I never not want to have this. I actually have it in my bag now because I'm aware that it's cough and cold and flu season. And at the slightest sign of anything, you know, this is going to be with me. In fact, I'll probably start taking it daily. It's probably not a bad thing, is it, at the moment?
That's the other way of taking it. You can take it as and when you feel a sniffle coming on, and that really just get in there at the very first sign.
Yeah.
Or you can take it by pulse method, which is what you just mentioned, which is 1 tablet per day, month on, month off, cycling it, because your body makes its
Hence
own
Leapfrog.
You leapfrog
over the months. Exactly. So this is definitely, if you've not tried the LeapFrog Immune, I definitely would suggest, with everything that's going on at the moment, that taking this for a month, maybe having a month off, then you're back on it Christmas time. You know, who wants to be sick over Christmas? Who wants to have, you know, a bad cold or be up in bed with flu or whatever? This definitely is something that will help. And again, I give it to my youngest. You know, he's going into school all the time. He's mixing with all these bugs. And I just want to keep him, you know, happy and well, and finally, you know, back in the classroom doing what they should be doing. I want to make sure he stays there. Thank you.
I know, exactly. I'm just the same. As soon as my kids who are 5 and 6 have the slightest sign of anything, I'm popping it into their mouths, or they're coming to me to ask for it. You can take it from age 4. So yes, for kids in classrooms, it's
fantastic. Pen says here, Friday I woke up with a sore throat. Took 2 tablets of the Immune Friday and Saturday, no more sore throat. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable. Maria says LeapFrog Immune is unbelievable. Sore throat, it stops dead. You know, and yes, Jan, we've just answered that question. You can take Immune and snooze at the same time. You know, for me, if you want to try it, I would say morning, night.
And you know what, you could have, if sleep was your issue, you could be taking the snooze and then have the Immune there, just a little box of Immune, just in case of an SOS situation, if you feel something coming on. Just have it there just in case, because it might be too much to get both boxes for you.
Yeah, they're not cheap, are they? It's an expensive supplement, lactoferrin. Yeah. Do you still do the little small packs, the trial size?
We have a pack of 15 and a pack of 30, so...
Great.
And then we also do a winter bundle, so you can get 3 packs of 30, and then you've got the value there. You get a discount on that, on top, of course, on top of your Liz Loves discount as well.
Oh, great. So you get a double discount then. So we get your discount and we get the Liz Loves. Oh, fantastic. That's really, really helpful. So the website is LeapFrog Remedies, am I right?
That's right.
LeapFrogRemedies.com. And last question for you, presumably they can be taken alongside any prescribed medication.
I would always say, if you're on prescribed medication, check with your doctor, because it's impossible for us to know exactly all the different things and how. But every time somebody does ask me, and you can ask me, I will always ask our doctors, our nutritionists, the company who makes our lactoferrin or Lactium, and ask them if there are any contraindications. And there aren't that we know of, but please do check.
Because it's a peptide from milk. So, you know, again, we're talking about food supplements. We're not talking about medications that can interact with each other. We're not talking about synthetics, artificial synthetics being introduced in the body to create some weird chemical reaction. We're talking about working with the way the body naturally works. We're kind of biohacking into our own mechanisms.
Exactly. Your body recognizes it. And biohacking is exactly what it is. I know that's very fashionable right now, but your body
love biohacking. Give me a bit of biohacking any day.
I know, I love it too.
Stephanie, you're a genius. Thank you. Massive congrats. You know, I wish you huge success with your brand. I know your integrity. I know the research that goes into it. And I also know the risks and all it takes to be an entrepreneur, let alone in this day and age, let alone female, doing it alone. So many hearts. You can't see on Facebook there, but there are so many hearts on the screen on Instagram for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was lovely to chat to you. Thank you for having me.
It really is a pleasure. Thank you so much. You have to press the little button.
Yeah, I will. Bye.
What can I say? I think Stephanie said it all. Amazing. Really, really amazing. Yes, Lucy, we are saving the chat. Don't worry. Please go back and have a look. If you didn't see the beginning, please go back and have a look. Simple, safe, effective, amazing. Really good. I'm going to be whizzing on there, I have to say. I genuinely have 2 people in mind that are going to be getting that very soon. Just before I go, a couple of other things to help sleep. We talked about Saffron before. This works in a different way. So this is really for anxiety. If you've got heightened anxiety, this has also been shown to help people with spectrum issues. So I know kids with ADD, ADHD, for example, tension, tense anxiety, who take Saffron. What's interesting about this is it also contributes to a good night's sleep. You take it in the morning, 2 capsules in the morning. It's a crocus extract, like saffron. This is Kevin Lever's at the Naked Pharmacy. We do have a Liz Loves. Let me just double check. Yeah, 20% off. It smells of crocuses, actually, because that's what's in it. But that's very helpful. Again, if you are really struggling with anxiety, I highly recommend. This is my packet. And I have, again, one particular member of the family who really swears by this. Other things, of course, magnesium. We've talked about magnesium very briefly. I take magnesium every night before bedtime. Magnesium is such a mighty mineral. It's involved with well over 600-700 different biochemical processes in the body. Every cell in the body uses magnesium. It's used for energy creation in so many ways. So magnesium, key. The other way I like magnesium is in a liposomal delivery system. So liposomal is where it bypasses the digestion in the stomach, and it has these little tiny lipid bubbles that are absorbed by our cells. That makes it much more effective, quicker acting, super potent, very safe. It's a lovely delivery system. It tends to be very expensive, liposomal, but more effective than chewing a tablet or a capsule that then gets dissolved in the stomach and then has to circulate through the bloodstream, etc. This is a lovely British brand. Again, fab female farmers. It's called Love Liposomal. This is their liposomal magnesium. It tastes great. It's flavoured with dragon fruit, which is a kind of like fruity, citrusy fruit. It's delicious. This is about £35 worth. But it's free currently, only a few left, so be quick, but it's free with your subscription to Earle Wellbeing magazine, which is also about £35 from memory, maybe a bit less. So basically it means it's free. Either you get the free magazine for a year or, your free liposome magnesium. But anyway, thank you very much to the people at Love Liposomal. I love this magnesium. It's a genuine Liz Loves. Maybe we can work out a Liz Loves in the future. But for now, if you want to try it for free, gratis, get your subscription to the magazine. And of course, if you want to give it as a gift subscription, great present. Christmas coming up. You could give it. It's the gift that gives on giving all year round. And you can even have the magazine sent in December or January. You can choose to your gift recipient. And then you can have the bottle of magnesium sent to you. Yes, so present for you at the same time. If you want to do that, all you have to do is there's a comments section on the website. You just say, actually, do you know what, could you send the magnesium to me? Or if you're on the phone to Warner's, then just say, I'd like the magnesium sent to a different address. Okay, so that's a little bit of housekeeping. And finally, before I go, one thing that I never go to sleep without, and I take them wherever I travel. Do you do the same? I'm talking about silk pillowcases. Once you've slept on a silk pillowcase, honestly, it's very spoiling because you don't want to go back. Number one, they're very cooling and softening, so it's very comforting on the skin. But particularly as we age, they just smooth the skin. The thing with cotton is that it can pull the moisture out of your skin. So you imagine you go to bed with a lovely thick layer of moisturiser on your skin, and then you lie on the pillow and it kind of soaks it all out. And you go, actually, that's not the point. I want it in my skin. Whereas silk doesn't seem to do that. It also doesn't leave creases, so you wake up with smoother skin. This is the one that I'm loving at the moment. It's from Beauty Pie, one of my favourite brands, with my great friend Marcia Kilgore. Look how pretty that is. Just comes all beautifully wrapped up here. And this one, silk pillowcases are beautiful, but they're expensive, again. But look at how beautifully it's made. And it's got this ribbing all around it, this sort of edging. Very stylish, very smart. Now, normally these are £80. That's the retail value in its little box. Beauty Pie, if you're a member, they're £34, so way under half price. Very good value, a great gift. Now, we do have a Liz Loves. So, the Liz Loves, you get £10 off your annual membership. Okay? £10 off your annual membership if you use Liz Loves. If you're not yet a member, I highly recommend it. Particularly coming up to Christmas and gift giving for girlfriends, it's genius. And I buy a lot of things from Beauty Pie. I use their super retinol, I use some of their eyeshadow sticks, I love their candles. There's so many things that I love from Beauty Pie, not to mention the silk pillowcase. So anyway, if you're not yet a member of Beauty Pie and you'd like to check it out, just go to their website and use your Liz Loves, and that gets you £10 off your membership. And then everything that you buy from them is at cost price. Cost price. The savings are amazing. Well, I hope you've enjoyed not only the savings today, but the chat on sleep. Love to hear your comments. Leave me a comment, please, on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course on Instagram. Let's keep this conversation going about sleep. Sleep is so important. It's such a fundamental. We spend a third of our lives doing it. Let's get it right. And for now, I wish you a great rest of the day and hopefully a good night's sleep. I'm going to be back with you on Thursday live. Staying with the nutrition theme, this time we're doing a deep dive into astaxanthin. Gosh, it's a real biochemistry week, isn't it? So lactium, astaxanthin, all these new words and new things that we're learning. But astaxanthin, very interesting indeed for skin and antioxidant activity. So join me, pencil and paper, at the ready, Thursday, same time, same place. Until then, have a great rest of the day and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.